His vision was, he genuinely believed. Professor Mills was so unlike the Ghana agenda, in pushing the Ghana agenda forward, in spite of the limitations of social. The reform of capitalism is the mistaken belief that it can be made more equitable and humane by the introduction. It binds itself to the promotion of a so-called mixed economy, which it hopes will lead to accelerated development. While socialists aim at smashing capitalism, social democrats commit us as leader. All of us, Marxists, social democrats, Christians, need to converge around the effort to move. This is the kind of leadership our country needs today, in the face of the hydra-headed problems confronting us. A leadership which encourages us to rise above things. We ought to reject a confused leadership which deepens ethnic, religious, and other differences for its inordinate Ghana. The chairperson. I work as public relations officer of the Ministry of Youth and Sport. After my then a lecturer at the University of Ghana. Many of you work at the INCC. Social services such as education and health, the abandonment of the African Unity Project, and the regime's support for apartheid South Africa. He believed that the PNDC was radically different from the NLC because it had an anti-imperialist posture. but he was still hesitant about its military essence. Somehow, Professor Mills was persuaded to accept the appointment, which became his first connection to the PNDC, which led to his assumption of duty as head of the revenue agencies and perhaps the vice presidential candidate of the NDC and eventually President of the Republic. Professor Mills contested the 2000 elections as the presidential candidate of the National Democratic Congress and lost. But even in defeat, he displayed excellent qualities of a leader who cherished the peace of his country and was fully committed to the ethos of democracy. He became one of the few presidential candidates in Ghana's history to gracefully concede defeat. This he did at the time when tension was mounting, and the newly elected president and his associate believed that the NDC would not hand over power peacefully. Perhaps the acceptance of the results of the elections by Professor Mills averted a needless conflagration and also demonstrated that it was possible to transfer power peacefully from one administration to another. Based on what I know, I have come to the conclusion that one of the most difficult years for Professor J.E.A. Mills was 2007. Late that year, I received a very unusual text message from His Excellency, former President Jerry John Rawlings. The message said simply that Professor Mills would not be able to contest the presidential elections the following year because of ill health. I was stunned. There had been no indication that the professor was ill, and I made frantic efforts to reach Mr. Rawlings for further details to no avail. I quickly called Mr. Atuahoy, with whom we had been working on the Committee for Joint Action. He was shocked and insisted that I forward the message to him immediately. Mr. Hoy called back to say that Prof was as fit as fiddle. He, however, said that Prof was in South Africa for medical checkup and will be back in Accra in a few days. When Professor Mills returned from South Africa, there was a clamor to see him. Many people wanted to confirm his state of health because a vicious campaign has started in earnest to replace him as presidential candidate of the National Democratic Congress. Many people, including persons who had nothing presidential about them, had already been contacted and told to hold themselves in readiness to replace the professor. In a conversation with one of those who was being primed to replace Professor Mills, I asked him to tell me just one good reason why any Ghanaian would want to have him as president. Rather than answer the question, he got very angry and asked why somebody like me, who had worked on the Kufuor campaign team, how somebody like me who had worked on the Kufuor campaign team could have the audacity to question his eligibility. I was one of the first people to be admitted into the presence of the professor, and he did not look like somebody who was about to die. He had lost a bit of weight, and his voice had changed. He sounded like someone who had had a severe cold. I asked him directly if he could contest the elections and what the state of his health was. He smiled broadly and asked, "Do I look like a ghost?" Professor Mills admitted that he had been unwell, but insisted that the doctors in South Africa had said that he would be all right. I left Prof feeling somehow assured that he was ready for the fight ahead of him and the National Democratic Congress on December 7th, 2008. His confidence was simply overpowering. I was to notice his difficulties later. Professor Mills visited the Freedom Center to participate in an event and made us all very alarmed at his condition. He was having serious problems with his vision. After the event, he walked into my small office and I plugged the courage to ask the very difficult question. Prof, can you make it? He asked back, make what? I tried to explain myself, and he shocked me with some unwavering commitment and sense of duty to the people of Ghana. He said, I will use the last ounce of energy in me to serve the people. I can't give up now. I can't give up now. The country is in a very dire situation, and I'm ready to make any sacrifice to be part of the rescue team. One of the other difficulties that Professor Mills had was that he ran his elections campaign on a shoestring budget. I recall that when Ghana was strangely called upon to do a third round in 2008 elections, I had a call from Professor Mills who said, Infante, all my money is finished, and I don't know how I'm going to get enough funds for TAME. I quickly consulted some of his closest friends and associates, including Mr. Atuahoy, and we managed to raise enough money for the trip to TAME in less than 24 hours. Prof believed that the electorate was not foolish. He firmly believed that the Ghanaian electorate is not foolish and could not be bribed to hand over their votes. For him, the trick was to be honest and transparent with voters in order to secure their mandate. On the assumption of office as president, Professor Mills did something which still baffles many of his associates. Indeed, his very first official assignment was to inaugurate the JA plant pool at Jowulu in Accra. Before his election, it had been rumored that Mr. Joseph Ajapong, the businessman behind the company, was a close associate of the New Patriotic Party, and this presented an opportunity for the newly elected president to demonstrate that one's affiliation or closeness to a political party ought not to be a barrier to participation in business or any other department of the national life. He completely ignored the protests of his own party loyalists to boycott the event. And I'm sure many of you remember the battles which took place around that time. He also used the occasion to show that his criticism of the opulent lifestyles of public officials was genuine. He arrived for the ceremony in a 3-car convoy of small cars, not big cars, small cars, 3-car convoy. I look back to that day, and I see today, and sometimes I truly feel sad. The President of the Republic, official function, 3-car convoy, small cars. Today, look at the campaign convoys. Are you not embarrassed by these campaign convoys? Decent people in our society who belong to political parties who want to make a difference should start by reducing these senseless, useless convoys, which only paint a picture of useless opulence. And then sometimes when you ask, why is this happening? So everybody wants to join the convoy. They come with their own convoy. So what? You want to join the convoy? Is that the most important thing? Go to your constituency and work. And leave the flag bearer alone to do his work. Don't embarrass the party and embarrass the flag bearer on top. These useless long convoys must come to an end now. This level of modesty was maintained throughout his presidency. He traveled with his ministers in a bus and lived in a very, very small cubicle in the castle. On one occasion, I asked him why he chose to live in that cubicle, which would pass for a storeroom in any minister's house. He told me that he didn't want to disturb the traffic from the Osu Castle to his house at Reggie Manuel with the presidential motorcade. The president left
on TV as well as and also on Power 97.9 FM, the hottest and the biggest conversation in Ghana inside politics. Yede bro free 37 at BBC Street Ewo Usu and a Sami Hunto birthday Sami of original TV. Sami baby will be a mount inkwa yanyamemo ahwaden ene nkwatenten ye move on afi yakoyenim na yewo legon fa ye feed in the life yenu akwasi prat the editor in chief of the inside newspaper ogosu a okanjagum elho president miss otwana nanmo sedo ye kai no mfi edumienu dia na also de kai ye president miss ya wanya ne baby ko mfi edumienu ene mrede enjeba o na sen 12 years eno emuhunsem na ajamanfo di ne ho adanse ka baby o man no afri ni baby a yaba bedru se o man ni nyina ho nsem no de akamu bia no nusia kase ebomu no ohene babo ama ni ni team no de akamu nyina no de bebre mo simeti o mo yebedan ho aba na afei yafa aboafo nkrato kwadwe yeboa wo ha saa so na Charles Makati ewo ha enei ye baba abeda just issues ahodo ni nyina sirake senkoma Safari Valley Eco Resort saa so ena aye power specialist about hospital yenuanom aye Medimosis Clinic and Herbal Center omusu kra yemo dendenden saa so na Muzo Herbal Clinic enso edia Muzo Garlic Bitters ena eboy Hebron Hills International School ena S Natural Mineral Water see dozo puaba brana so betu odi ene koto me come shop bianso no obenya bi ato ewo ho yeba sisia Masaka power jack would edition Masaka Bobasi papa it's a Masaka would anniversary edition of Bobasi yes Kokra all lucky winners bring 5,000 Ghana Mechagate a summer boy coffee in a 5,000 Ghana city all lucky winners fan good is a ring in a big day I need a Bobo star 274 star 10 hash should be 274 star 10 hash to Kubia 10 Ghana city more tickets and no chances of winning as a surround Azoma Mesaka power jackpot Chawodo anniversary edition on your strong queen Sekabiara Ebe Sunday it says why 3 organizations Kolobu dialysis unit so children's home the XYZ Foundation Chawodo Zabwa Yeni Anomaly sound says in the big Mesaka power jackpot in the big star 274 star 10 I was sending Gumadama till 2nd August 2024 Gamadana get draw no bokot Chawodo anniversary edition star 274 star 10 hash they take it to be 10 Ghana send Gumanaro TVXY power 97.9 FM Saka power jackpot Chawodo anniversary edition show your love now in the big Damara.
Upon your arrival, you are introduced to your butler, who plans your itinerary. So many activities, all in the same premises. You visit the gym or the stables, they have it all. At my break, I'm able to practice my putting. They used only electric vehicles here. This creates a serene environment. I'm told it's over 1,000 acres. My cabin here sits on 2 acres with a large terrace space overlooking my private swimming pool. Now this is royalty. They have their own farms, thousands of fruit trees. I can also have my lunch here at the waterfall. Quite a beautiful place you have yourself.
Western North NDC fundraising the world Rihoyo. Sunday, 21st July, Accra, Tank Palace Hotel, 5 p.m. sharp. NDC. And now I'm super pencil Ghana. Western North NDC fundraising the world Rihoyo. What's you be man? For NDC. And it's on my fertilizer and perfume. And your professor Nana Genesis. Emma, and Mamma and Benya Bussia, a woman's band. I want to get through. And you be up for Quando. Waka was won't blow. Western North Indies by a fundraising. Shipman, Nankasabadu Accra. 21st July. Baby, I will be a bottom Zoom boy. Akumomo number 053-8837-911. But also with the NDC book who me there. What's up, boy? And the NDC babium. Musikaya 5 Ghana city, 10 Ghana, 20 Ghana, 50, 100 Ghana city. And now I will be around. Your number here 053-8837-911. Nasepede Bukusi. Name it John Mahama. Hold the nation card. Platinum near 100,000 city. Gold or your 50,000. Silver or your 10,000 Ghana city. Special table or your 5,000 Ghana city. Your Momo number now 05.
Well, the Taranga Lions are in the house. Long time no see. Kojo yebo awa ha, sanso ena Charles Makati ewa ha. Dadie so abahene se utie program ya efutu na mede ma woni wa hemfo nkuma no. Akuyafo na mo pese mo kwache wo mo kokofu mu no. Emwa mo asema America no. Mede maso atoto fom. Bambofo etimi a omuntimi ye say anhwe yi a na ya nte asempa so obi akwa kodo no koko no ohina sore say munkoche koko ofuonum wani akuafo no ba wo ma mo mechim moje etuo ahefo na etuo ne ejeje edema mo wasase ho asase no eye hiahene ene akwaboa stolans asantemawura otumfo setu ote kokko so yentini bebiara da so otumfo ama direct ohene bi directive say ekuyafo kokko a wo mado mo ne ekuyafo no koche eye kokko no na asase no eye asantemawura asase minti bi oba bia da wo na bia ye kan say ya no matekine lightly na ebia no wan hweye na okofo mu ha no wa mafie muntie ni ye pa me se me de maso se bambofo tie mi a omomo maso nko dade so aba ho deputy IGP operations nyina operations ni bia momo maso enko dade so aba ohene na ya chenchen sinkwafo forest o makodo bi omo niam no onu omo kwa akoche na wo ma omo krata o yan krata ma omo sa abre na omo kodo afuo na na omo krata aban forest no ye kwafo na kwa akodo no onu omo kwa akoche sa akoko no makodo wo forest mu lance minister abugina po na asoma wana ana otumfo na asoma advise yourself just mo akwaba
Mga mo Jesu.
Biblia bako de.
Sane tena. Ne tena ye ko ye no. Sane te friends sai.
De nyamiase.
Otibre na nya wana wada suti.
Menua.
Intine friends sai.
Nothing has changed.
The da sunu munsu for lunch. Enti.
Mu campaign ko sen. Ba omia.
Campaign be.
Kwajo mu akwaba.
Oye sumuga.
Na wa bisa masem mi wa no zi
kwa. Asema bisa masem campaign se ba omia wo se campaign be.
Oh, I mean penny pa boni se won. Because
are you afraid?
We in Centroni. There was never a time ba me adi campaign team be tu dwa me din kan ho.
Se mi so won side. Se le kwajo wa fafanto yi.
Me ye Ghana ni.
Atiase. A community no.
Me jina we na nya me katro minsuru bia mferu bia
medasi kwajo
minia
mwakwaba
mijo sumuga
afanfanto muti sai
fanto de se wa winim John beba e ho de win slogan no John beba e ho de tutu bibia kama fanto ne
John beba de sai
na John ye mienu ba ko beba
John kwajo
kwajo lanche Martin what you say
woni wo John
na John Mahama ba ko beba ndi John beba tie de ye ni nyina together
ba omia
hwan me bombo bibi kan me se John JJ aseme na beka no ba omia de binim no wan na mo mare tisu a obra ye breni ade na se bia nya do Nyankopon aboa na wangu yare bia amo na December 7th aba na akoto aba wo makoto aba ma ba omia na wan kata huru onim koso na ruba fom wo hwe ewo mu atete ewo mu ene petrol 1 gallon eburu ete Ghana cedis omutum keke no asori akoto abama chese na onu de muga we de say intro mpono no de me ya no sebia nyaado wotimase enka wumpo nka woni emansisi suye no na nka mapo obi onu so nim de wachiri na nka de mu de adwen na nka ye wotiase ntum so okoto duane obi o memfa ankate na memfa abeka kan wona na wonu se ankate na nhyeda ngede ba bene ba mu be yi
less than 5 months to go
nti poni papa wo mne yi nei it is asante radio ko wanya ni pa hon man yi
oni eye ba omia
the recommendation is bad na me do mo sa kan so o mo pe no mo pasante ni the ba I heard and we asante ni
se ne ma me free ahemfie ni papa fie
ni papa no mo ofra ahemfie na ni papa ni ma me anga se head hu ba bi ofi but I like so saluni what you say no mo so ofi yistin a check hu ba bi ofi ene ehwe mo so ofi saluni na papa efi ahemfie a wonya de hye wuni akonya bia ho man ni wonya de hye
so we akani
yes enti wotu form na eso
wudi akonya
me di akonya wa certificate asa sokore wotimase so we de na wo papa ne dia wo papa dia de ho no ma ana papa ne de hye wo ye de hye da bi wo maami e di enade ni agade wotimase enti na poyo ene na panka sa sebia nyaado wotu ne fu odem ma hey wo babonte a hey enti de na mokofam na pod ni dwane baomia eka mu prakani asantenia keke sapon mu ni ade wo wotimase ya mde wo konti be pese bi obi ade ade be yi sankrofo mi enu tektin ferry net tai wotimase yeah freestyle Friday ferry net so be fa na pona na dwane baomia
ɛna ɔmo ne ba omia nam sɛ me ya bi omia me nua same okum ni ade otim ranti ase bi ɛyɛ same de na adwene mu dɔ ne totu yɛ kama kan pipifo nya npa sa ba mienu miensa kan no a ke bia npipi nkonya ba bi omu gyani ba omia ne yɛ ne behavior ne kasa mpo nya ɔmo fɛre kɔbɛ Japan mu di n'akyi obibi na mu pɛdi ana sɛ bia mu timi ntufo minim si yɛ pɛ ɔhena yɛ de obi tena dɛm ne amana tunufo ayɛ nhyehyɛ enti kɔbɛ Japan mu ne ba omia nam o kasa mu mfɛre hwɛ na o introduce wɔ napo o tete mu sɛ ofo popɔ ɛno so usu ni tisa on timi nyina fa kon kasa wo yɛ panimu ne de odi ade akyew de wɔ kasa ne ade jomama kasa o mu hwɛ na last 3 weeks or so jomama call Sunday so we start program no shedu ana papa ne kasa ahobrasem no nam ayawa so weso gon violation obenya yemfo ne ade bi o kasa kwa oni beje panimu nie ye training no nso so training no ama ne ko ye ne nkofo ne nam basa nipa abire o mugasa wo hwe sabi wo sori aduane nipa be di kranya bi ni me sorry me avoid course sa dodo na betie dodo na fa me mitimi mfa na me no nya ne o president busam se wo ache wa bonten wo busam tu fa me sa ntimi ho nya mobo ese ade muga anu odi ateti o mti obetimi ka ye
o president o misa wa ache
me ne wo na wo ho etime musam se wo ache wa bonten se ye na me wa bonten ma ba na busam ya fine ba me no nya ne o president awuta mi omu ne bonko wo ko jona mete unka che na se me fro wo ba wie na munya mo kakra na me yade me mane mere ma jamade me yade me mane mere ma jamade enima nkoye mabusia for course nyina me mfa enima course muga ano ode wo check ya me since 1992 mato aba bepem ne me sanya ko be bo ngo so mato mato aba che manyini kakra ne nyina achi me hu president sabio president Tanta president, full president, giant amamu tise kufuado ne ba omiade eda. Ba bi o ma na dollar abroche fo nso trimu ya yeden. Kananse anke dollar ekọ na nim ka mo se ne kakra. O mo se ne o. Wo ye program na o mu tie. Mo se ne bibi kakra. En na ye system we be 17. Ti wo de kakra bi tumu pounds no de ba na wi asase bojo wuti ase. Eso o mo so mfa ma. Wo ka o mo so mo tie o mo ho so ye kama. Wuti ma mo se ne kakra. Mo ga ni pa bre o. What ma be manage Ghana economy. Amenne dollar do say what one man so person on Jomama debate. Now the Jomama sabi niti abo form da.
Homa issue statement IE phone Jomama campaign team need the statement aba.
Say
ne MSC baby be nyina na IE phone no mo he.
Na mu kwa mpotu baby.
O ba obi say debate ya. Only come money Panama ni answer. Fiti ya no issue.
Esa mo consult no kwa no say ni pese. Omo for na unim. Esa of Kofi Apalu. No fake Ecuador komo miensa omo na omo ne ba omia the same class no mo ye no dream for lunch Martin Jomama so omra na no me debate e dey na akoka economy a woda no no aguru wo so brane ye debate on economy wo ye sure say e kohwe adwurum e wo pantana say Isaka asalam down ese check na the constitution yes wo position ese check wa adwune ni ese bibia correct na
sound mind
so yes but adia na woda no na say emra ye debate on no aye ko atete apansam etie de na ye ba na debate on economy ya wo fra wo na ma to nyampia say wo pese wo meet by Muhammad ani debate on what ba bia ye dri nyansa ye dri ba bia ye me Jomama no na me slegon bo me mpe wo fi okwa adenta nyano me mpe there's no need so be ko campaign o national television no atanu akasa no anu no wo pa to pa gya ye nyina na ewuo ye nyina na ewuo ne say changes wo pa to pa gya e hu nyansa be fa ka kwa no obi ko hwe fo mo ha o me nansa me nya campaign mre bebre o muga do me she was sitting not to aban because me wu and me sha me telephone me phone e kro me so MTN wo so wi so bia ba bia me de bedu na no pa ba bia me de do de nu etisa wo si yes me si enko na si enko wo de gina ho ye nyina ho ntimi no me ye kakra na makoko ho me ya fa ni e ba betra ka mo ba de abe no ye nya announcement bi Jomama wa bre do be ye no hwe previous years adwuma be ye the NDC be hwe ho na fa to aba de enko wotima se na sa otuo na sa otuo ya mato ase wotuo na beto aba ma frema emu sankrofo wemu sanko mbeli di Ghana fu sei obesa ato aba no sanko nwia Ghana ne ma esabu ye nyina antimakati wodi enkomra wotima se
ye free wa Charles wi a ye be ko ye statement NDC for the aba ewie ya be 30 minutes
bandisi for onim esa me bo mo abaso ansan me bo mo abaso ansan me manuasi ebi ana me yire fi mako radio atwas be 2 because ne unse me pra me 9 me me ko ba bia na me ko no me kan mo asem ba ko mienu eno mo corrections amani aja ndisi ukasema muti o na me ka some about MC na so wo bi tie Gideon ayiko da bi nyan bonne so Gideon wo team a unyan no e ma no interview e say use the whole Ghana nobody for now nobody it is one this mu a say mu use no me ka 1 2 3 empanifo na ya de nyame hira mo
na won MC water
wo ye champion na don't have voice na pie no agigigunu kukumu sa mo de yi
fantastic no so fair
nice guy let's forget it
what you say
yeah and this your mema and this your mema nye ho na wa say no wo de awo e wasa mema ni nyina akode ma sa oh nipa ni ho
ye ni ho
nipa ni ho NPP na nipa be na aka wo hwe na no mko kuma so mu gina ho wo be ka se asoma so mfa de nkoma nkrofo obianza gunachom bibia nye emema bia ni wo position de manipa afanyo mark is the majority leader ni asade yisi German so kwa board chairman se nipa o man ka afanyo mark is e so we dia ma no NPP nipa ni mbiem
you don't have the men
na bi aka even women poni ho aka nkola
Goro boys
wo mo na aka no
and area boys
wo de nkomla
just
Bravo
freestyle enko
mama na wase na mencha wa hwefo ni watifo
position mic
na menka ne se me di befi Jenadu Mensa Electoral Commissioner
wow
enano or say political parties NG 2024 election omunji outcome nintum rabi ya July mebwa register ye diko to abano ye ntro ye nye register ne ye emran kasa eze diko to about 2024 no ye nye Jane Mensa and Green we nyina ho the hiano and say aba yen hyehyem posi ye kwa akoto printi balo say umwie nomination for my political parties file what shall say kikam say amount for NG outcome into and you be there na wano a
na you only before na nekasa na
oni why
na me ka say be before na okasa kire o
o da bi la bisi
kaze o say onu ahun say before be lose eti me na me be bia
men fan sa deliberate. There is a reason until Jenadu Mensa Asha see soon 5 months into election say accept the outcome ben we prepared to
ni nasem
e dey na woni ma yenim
mejankom
pressure ben e na wono so entia ne ho pre no say by all means as a see o accept the outcome no unye bibia just say opeso my credible election
level playing field
you must make people so man for nya gidie wo electoral commission no na any nya wo be ye bia amount for serial numbers kwa zo mva mom me bua send this for cause mom serial numbers of o se wonye bibia mo pe bia you are not ready to cooperate o se da bi at the end of the day no nya me kase wa win ni jitu say ya no kre
say no kre ya te say o procure pen bi say pen no ye be say pen no so wo di ankatwa de ya na pepa say be amon for betimi atu bebre indelible ink dada na no say de to
enema na wo di atutu akwan mu
horo
enema
you wie na president horo wo di guzu aneko
na moto 3 and 4 no
me see na de ayikwe horo president wo di guzu aneko president de na mepa no say do na anim say no kwa na de be we dia ya horo basa
me de menyi
na machine nti ene bia horo bia ntumi
mato de bugana no say de ko
Jenadu Mensa menyini ni ena menyini ni so da enti sa kasa wa sha sie kan onu abibi something is cooking esijaso a ehuri
putu strategy ho de be we ni
enu ana ogusu awoyi unsi onu kasa munji results ni ntumu no na nukunu su na ma bezi momra aye meet debate amunti ya sheshe game na to eye daimu plan ya try to edami
ni ko se MPP ni
eye dami no mo bo
chaskele
dia 20 no no nukunu su se momra debate na
ope kwakwati
na sa debate no endis was omeko
omunko muko ere
see aye ye Jemensa dia
on fa ni aye
Jemensa na electoral commissioner ofi ho no kunu na ye in charge of IE
hotel say to mo te Ghana
the men san na kofa upon kroma any professor na be your moderators it was alleged sit there no more leaky questions means Professor Nana ne leaky you say upon kroma ne leaky questions so all these moderators now rise in their political parties. And you know why I wouldn't ever call a moderator in any debate. Obi Bejinadi. Mindy body be a new organ as a meeting my independent, not even Supreme Court judge for. Who the Supreme Court judge for some better as a moderate election debate? I mean, you money. Or meeting my leaky. Why now do Ombeko? And Central Fuana. So who is going to organize that debate? Ankasa. Who will be a institution be a new be a credible because a man for leaky questions. And someone that no wa. We see may 24 hours. We see may say robotics, digitalization, a man for someone that ye no be can. You be fire adrenaline ya deciding what you be to amano. Pa say mukoye debate on what? Questions I be person mu bizamu mi so mo. Because debate there, Mugabe, anka 8 years under NDC versus 8 years under MPP. Ne ya compare. Asa inflation net to say, interest rate to say, GDP to say. Na o life under 8 years of NDC, udi to 2 naira at the say petrol na ye ton saying a gallon of petrol then na ye saying
no for car free
gallon of petrol na ye 4.5 liters.
4.5 Ghana cedis.
Liters and mechanical liters 4.5 liters and they ton saying look at it then do 15 cedis
near 14.
I say and na the talk gallon ewo mama breast one na so ye incompetent no o move the bad na and to gallon and to mean to 1 liter.
To 1 bottle.
Do get it. Those are the debate ben ye kwakoye bi. Me hwe abia mete ni ni amena mu a debate ben na ntia no de yem fan to nchen. Mugabe 2 report aba Fitch a project saying this debate me win Afro barometer onzo abetudwa. But me Afro barometer there no and a consent to me. Say offer every 10 Ghanaians you what time you new 10. I say every 10 people will be for 9 say Ghana Konechi. We are not moving in the right direction.
87%, right?
That is 9%, 9 out of 10. That is 90. For 9 out of we need 9. In part 10, now we need 1. 9 dozen. Do you get it? See enquiry. A verdict. Upa you see democracy over 2011, 2013. Now support for democracy near 74%. Now ye G kabima minka biama mudi 74. Yeah, and 2021 to 2023 at least about 51%.
You are sitting on a time bomb.
Almost within 39 African countries, 53% of the people are ready for military takeover. Afrobarometer report. Say and now Ghana as a soldier for sorry D or minor, you have 53% of the population they are okay. Now see 53 definitely some useless ones will not be part. I see.
Part of the useless, but I'm okay with that. That one I'll take it because I care 5 months to penny IG.
No, as some make a route. I am talking about a report.
Your alternative.
And I make a report. You see, this is a worrying situation, a worrying trend. Mugabe said yet your memu. Now, a man for have to get to that point. Say it is better as soldier for Kwabede a BDS. Because there is no difference between a democracy rule and a military rule. Difference wo. Mo amuhu Rollins amamu. Military rule then no. Mo di toto na. Rollins to aban sase. Rollins am fa aban sase. Rollins anye no yeyi. Rollins anje court nyina amoso. Rollins am fa police amoso. Rollins am fa soldier amoso. Rollins anje sencho for adwuma ankanteso. Look at it. This is a worrying trend that says to be a man I drink home. Now fit report on both sides or see NDC victim winning or project it. It is not for them to be happy, excited, and start jumping about. So you're winning because I do mutim that say come what me 2024 will be winning.
Vigilance.
It is not on a silver platter, so we'll be winning. 5 months, never to Mississippi, things can change because more dealers, more party, more dealers, whom they can deal. Mensa womb now bezu can, but dealers womb become a tomofo. Some koi leaders and a marco to dealers. The moment income, you have dealers. They can.
Because the dealers woman, I know the Nasi akotu ye dealers there. I know the men when you.
It is my opinion. A word in America.
Can go anywhere.
Maybe I'm a deal wording. I'm going to come myself. Sana mwa ne di ma bedru ha ya tumu pa na mo pusa mo hwa
na Friday
and then still free star baby star baby ana
close a loss say jana no shi
da be na no say ya na be kono boko ye kono gidigidi you afutu de say ye
carry on
enti mo mama ni nkom mpanifo no ho. Who watches the watchman? You must watch them. Who end this in time and you can say, sir, until you must watch them. You must be vigilant.
You hear mom community, a biscuit.
And people also know a chia a muye. Metimaya name
5 months.
5 months. You can make wonder, make my magic. I say, now Kurumana yan, young Kurumana yano, Mubitimaya be. Nanya Gidio. Ya kotama mu I say we be open remarks but na debate there say my kind no debate bia ni bia ya be ko sangwa
ehun ya say aye debate ni mama be ko
aye ni why ne wa aye o
jemense ko
nyansa ni be ne wa aye a obeye debate nyansa ni be isi uko kasa aye wo ban we mu na omo nka hwe a I don't you are glorifying aye. You are making it look like a relevant institution. What I say? And you damn na mabo Ghana na mo so amount for so. Obini no cool business. Who is J. Mensah and the husband to be asking questions from people in this country? J. Mensah to Electoral Commission was not accountable to anybody.
Did some phone.
Na mo so so. No more them. Where as man come over be ready I letter with her.
Easy.
For who? Me. No. We are more than these people. It is not any recognized institution. I can say you buy institution. No, Obini Nigeria company. Mamma bumu kwasi acho. Mamma bumu kwasi acho. Mo yeje de si adan.
Amuzo aba clinic semen kan che o de amuzo garlic bitters aba cholesterol na ewo ni padua no bi ye free ho ebema blood circulation so ya adwuma kama na wagina ho na so brani pharmacy shop bi organ bia ne heba shop bi awura ma obenya bi for Dr. Amuzo 0247 776743 0247 776743 o for Dr. Amuzo a obeje wo so osuwenya stroke a no Amuzo garlic bitters ni bi obi akakra bi na wabre wose nom Amuzo garlic bitters ni bi ebetumi so aboa support o pancreas na tumi aboa adwuma de ma wo ba nom be ma nso no asira ka se PC nkoma power specialist about hospital my me say hepatitis A B C D yi ni bi na tete wa fatty liver, sciatica, prostate, anaasɛ broken bones, ulcer anaasɛ compo anaa fibroid. Fani nyinaa akɔdan power specialist about hospital. Kumasi ofeyi ase lake bosomtwe kwantempɔn no so ne Jezbo filling station no ɛna di nhwɛ animu. Nkra ha yɛ kwabenya pokwasi ACP kwantempɔn no so. Takrade yɛwɔ Anaji Estate ben Anaji MA Primary School no. Saa nso ɛna yɛ wode wani kyerɛ Kumasi a yɛwɔ ahenema kɔkɔben ɛhɔ ɛna obi hu yɛn. Kumasi feyi ase ɛhɔ ne yɛwɔ monhyɛ no so. Ne mom wode wani kyerɛ Takrade yɛwɔ Anaji Estate yɛbɛ Anaji MA Primary School no. Monhyɛ no so ɛma me frɛ mami wɔ 0244 544422. Kumasi location ni biem yɛwɔ feyi ase lake bosomtwe kwantempɔn no so yɛne Jezbo filling station no ɛna edi nhwɛ animu. Safari Valley Eco Resort obi a opɛ baabi a wobɛsɛ wo experience wildlife ɛyɛ mmoa jata ɛne sebo ba wo sɛ sebo na ɛbɛyi wo sɛ ɛyɛ zebra na ɛbɛyi ana antelope na ɛbɛyi wodu ha wani bɛgye yie papaapa furniture ɛwɔ dewu ɛwɔ eastern region na ɔmo betumi aboa ɔmo nuane no nso yɛ kama local and continental dishes local ne ɛkyɛ sɛ abunabuni de kwadwo yɛ boa pay bi ne nyinaa bi ɛwɔ hɔ wɔn mpa no so hotel room hɔ no wura hɔ a wɔn makɔ aba di ho adanse no cross alos mo saa no mo di adanse agbasi sɛgba fiamo wɔn kyerɛ sɛ wɔn mpa no kama papaapa wo bɔ adwuma wɔ so a wɔn te kwen bia hɔ mpa no ni so ade furniture hɔ waware awie wopɛ baabi adu hanimu ɛhɔ a furniture na so nya ɔdɔfo bi a wodɔ no no monkɔgye mɔni na bibia nkɔnkan from 0596914394 0596914394 ofra power specialist about hospital Emma wapomuden no na Safari Valley Eco Resort omoso Emma baby na wadwojo Medimosis Clinic and Herbal Center wasebra wodi Medimosis Garlic Capsules abedwa so eboa improve blood circulation sanso ena eja nipadua no eboa immune booster ema eja body no gina na so kama pharmacy shop bia wogana ha wurama ubenya eye Medimosis Garlic Capsules ni bia to we obi a prostate problem na ha wo mema no sexual weakness mema no ni nyina mofa moni enkyere eye Medimosis aso ye wodo ni kyere Medimosis aso ya obenya bi edu papa ni bi na etumi aboawo ene Medimosis we ye ka sexual weakness obi te se bright or art center untimi fa sexual weakness mfa ni fichiri obo adwuma yie papa ema wa hunu se obo adwuma ene Nancy kura hu say yes me aminu aba we say yes mugawa konta obo adwuma me manage ene no anu no male and female infertility hypertension, diabetes, sciatica, typhoid fever, malaria, stroke, any all dental problems in Afagoda Medimosis. A dental barrier, your new police station, anymore, AESL building inside the Ghana Highways Authority Yard or Accra Ministries. A Joko Jobe, your school for the deaf, and anymore, Kumasa, and Mako Ben, your Freyana and Chichon Common 0244 068447 or Freyana, Yabejo so. Kojo NDC, the statement about and every campaign team no efa eye one posters one banners any one eye billboards awodo maye ejoma amade ene September West ye yegu form say MCO ho ene sha ase nsem ni bi etan hawo komisi imrante no na akoyo de yesese ni posters kion aya adoma ene sadoma ko ono so okan ko serve ono so ne de yese no ene de ejoma na de yese no Reverend Oben okan kwe eye Ablikumanov Ablikumanov eye yenuaba Reverend Oben ono so ni billboard ni si ano na before do mu di akosi animu si ahwe yi a ebetumi atija ti NDC for say MP before ntu omo hofo
mugame das mfa kwanya zelom za nchetie fo na ahwefo
wo bibi so abetumi
na ntia mi amikro fo Kenya se fo
so mo say si o tie
obetie adwombone si oni trim ba bi obi anka kese nkoma no ontie nti do hwe no na ya yemfa binka on yengi bisu mfim yes
Mwa magbasi
we misa adwombone wo tim maka si wono a wenka no bifu
asi oda so esi o
ni police station now yes you
no esi o he company be odo nim kra
abosi me fi o
adwombone ba obi tim
you are the champion see
muga unim de me party for ye ya emphasize Ghana for is an mefano and a Ghana political party no akese no pe posters o money gi hu no emienu ya afrafanton fe ho yenya de alanche mate de ba kusi tete kwahye ne nya ba ko se ko yenya ba ko kegetia na pena akese eme yenkitikiti bi an aye ho utwemu ahwe wo nhwe agai afrafanton de be movement na mo se movement ni move but the main thing me say who's a poster obi gire no ho no billboard na we poster na wakote ba akwakoti mienu consensus bia so nipa wo mu o because those days I was so go start my youth organizer me and operations you poster there's out ba ko asemo aba because baby be share obi ehun se wo na atwa mo da within that time no cry we life in danger sometimes election put get tough say o na get tough say but election where they do or die it obi ayin when poster obi aye ne niema wo so ye wo de ne fa kopo boy wo kwa adua na de abo ho enye by force consensus ni so se kodwo ebo afa ha na de ne de boy ya ade na makati so ntimi fa da place no fa ne de nkonkobo ena se wonim so wo ye nyuma papa mi da bia meka and this NPP ba ya wa nya nyuma papa bia when you come to Ayawa so so gone obi abedi and this for nya abedi madanse lead their last and performance there's no need posters and bibi the obey bia obebi too the same thing and be abeko at the other place and this for me to say you do na do some money okuje to mini ade it will be difficult so better be to omo be omo enuma papa omo constituency da bia ka me kokumase ana me hwe mutaka constituency a me hu adwuma betima ya betima be ti mutaka because constituency na asphalt be bia da ne kwamu enti me hu tu de ya adwuma ne yi a na ka party of power de na open poster ho but obi ni poster betare well mu dey see and na make say and make NDC for no esa we NTBC
oni mutokwa akwa oni mutokwa
NTBC was out money operation officers no we say operating na fra
me dey say oni munyamfo yehunu abe director operations omo fo mani
esa otime operating omo na fra e dey not obi dey ba be see obi dey anim because Ghana no uto na ojura de won just we nim so perform o consensus there's no need for it we say dey na de baba
ready o area ye nanim
mami mo kira kokotum abekra no ye boni bia ni nyina achi musa ade ono ko ne etidie no betima ye die na mo nye ye ntia muso se obetima ba bibi ede na usuro eno amete se na homa so bi o se ne ba won ne ba se kai wo ko gye bia na tutuo na office knife na wuro usu hu no wututuo nim de koka no ene wo homa so ko yira yemfu bia nim na ye oba no ne kon ne de wo ye wo fita Ghana ye wo de ada bi Ghana nye obi ade ye nyina na ewom posters ka so ko nso zikakrakai etunya ba bi fa bi ntamuga media mechanics omuntu omubu election ba be ko eni bre wo mudodo enu ti na no NDC for ko Ayawa so go NPP for no officer na me support om course no because so be obi office how eni ko so mo akọ free esa wo ko so nya mark de ko wo ko ni sen yes mo so fa letter bra na ko on say me baba video baby na ma de akọ kire na mate say ABC because wo betwa de me operation officer betimi you can't won't be nkon toto wo ko say de nsa keka ho wo ko so bo so nya dent wo what ma say anya fine and make no it's about me ade bo say and this for so any ko say do pempenso obi any ko me soft say ya o so to tare
leader na odi enu mo ne say on be say de mra be de enu ti na wo say dampare act no
udi mra bi achi say ya wo be ko opposition wo be 50 years we are African man show bia wo so fa wo de kwata ne de enu so fa wo de tare ne de enu so ade ne obi hu so obi ani abre what they tell you who says na no dia nko bi nsi wo ya obi de esi ono mu de nsi animu esa mo no mo crash
nkojo no de
obi ga so bi nkum ni pa wo ba esa mo tibi ju that to create
insight
va oh da me nyu de value what ko si wo de animu ka chen fa mani fansi wo
na esa ho ne asem beba
nanti wo je to create be kira sama na wo gi wo kira ho ennepe de pesi edidi enim de pesi wo kira ebi bo atem da beba nyumre nobody knows etibe mani fansi ho ne me mani wo wan disi wo de ko
enu na wo se post for ye ho adwo
etibu ya plus am be video wa mo hwe be video the whole Ghana mo dia na answer be complain mu video
no tema wes ya adwo mama ya
mo yi ni nyina be board kaka obi dia adwo mama de no ye fi wo ba omi ade bo ho ye dey esumu ma na esum na mama ba kofo musu munyi omo de mu munyi nwa na obi ho to no and this for mo ni nya de hu MPP for no ehu ayi keke eni ade bi no de omo ni ho omo ni hwe
mo test waters MPP for no test
and then this for no omo de complain which is no enya good mo make sure to mo no be meeting let's we no wo for the stuff to am
to the say we the house
say ni ankon sa because sa de na be ko police station
yeli we jo mama de we yetema ho your mama dey
complaining sa kake emfaso ni
so mutu MPP dey no
so to kre na kwa mu da ho What you say? E dia na so betu die.
Kodwe se fa asumdwe ma o.
Asumdwe no ne dia hi. Tutu na mitutu ne no ho. Ne emprapra ho no bia ho nye clean. Si etutu ko. Eti butra so ma se da bia mo na mba videos are do mama ho bia ne dia ne wo a mutimi friko wa ni nyina tugu. Aba. Ada na aba umia de overhead asende si fam o. Abodam for kra betima wo mo nwai. We si sumako wa ada mun titi sa de we ntuntungu. Na de ne ntimi enkoso se so omkofo na ni abre. Enti anya sa de ne biem. Utima se hwaniema omu yi muga de meka ne se NDC for mo nimre sa ne edin we nu ne be don beko e kwa to polling station the day of election about 2-3 o'clock kwa udi agroma sa niema we sa asesa ballot box so wa mo ni anya de anhuru mu bi amomo hu so mo ni abre enti e kwa
NDC ne koye ya dampa de be mi achi
wo ntimi nchi obi a
ananya na agona eye mankron John Kudalo Nukumu ayemfo asase e dawa so mo de ba be project bi no candidate MPP candidate no wodi ne billboard akosu amoma ahemfo na kotu billboard no ya di ahemfo ni nyina akogo mo be 1 week ne ya no court e ma wo mo e bela ho asem aba
enti the whole Ghana that parliament match obi atum mo ba samba akosi ba bia na be example ha da bi o
anakojo sakin o de dampare hu ohu ya se ye kan wate de su okaso e ma me no che no
obi tin ko complex ba ai muga ai we ai makati na eteti ade no
dampare be se o yesa obi ko complex
yesa ko complex sa simasi na atete ma ade no ye hu nipa no
dampare
be che no o hu ye wonte ye
vote me issue statement bia se sansan phone na ekoso no mo
yesa me support anya opponent but when the NDC for no so wo so make sure wo so be wa kakra wọ́n sọ bá tààrà mu diẹ ni so wọ́n wọ́n yẹ so simple wọ́n yẹ ọ̀dìẹ ni kẹsì ẹ̀kyẹ́ ni wọ́n use A4 sheet use way náà ọ̀dìẹ tààrà ni diẹ ni so simple start yẹ sẹ́yìn yẹ ẹsẹ̀ dẹbi àmú complain mu dẹbi àmú ọ̀sáyì ẹ̀kyẹ́ ẹ̀nà mu kọ more than house of folk mu ti kú jẹ́sì hun ani àṣẹ mu náà mu kọ fie no mu make sure sẹ́ mu nso mu bẹ yẹ bìbí ẹ̀kyẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ bí àbá omi adìẹ ti wọ́n ẹ̀fọ́m wọ̀ esi fọ́m ẹ̀fọ́m kẹ̀kẹ́ náà adìẹ bẹ́ẹ̀ omi adìẹ wọ́n di tuntun àgbẹ̀ni bẹ́ẹ̀ jẹ esi fọ́m fẹ́fẹ́
wa dampare becho
no we mo we de mo wa na wia ese
ke he ya
wo mo wa na wia
we ye kasua
MPP de mo NDC mo wa na wia o mo esum ba nya mama ba kufo esum nya ba kufo dia ana wo pro benga simple
do or die
na the only posters and crofat ya ta so no dia wa ya ye ko ne normal wo cooperation team no ne ko
say why you to
obi ani obetima ba video and obi ani say make sure so the team na ko wo wa no han many pa twa wo achi bi wo junction ni so wo obi obebe obi a nipa no so oba the wrong time etu o ma hompo utima say etu wa ni we be freedom of no wa hwe do musi nipa tro musi ade odi si ade ni mo jam so fancy anim and odi si wi an okofie no odwa nanum eni kwa so timi kofie free eni so timi so kosi billboard no si billboard o yensi wasi die yensi wuti ase wonu oje onye opa bibi akoka che mpinisa na nipa cross man se me kwa no ya yensa ke kamiti se mpa bibi mame se se mutri ke kanu mo jan wasi woko wa champion ye nye politics Africa politics there no ese jabo me se ni brebem ba bia do se mo miam when this for adam ye niam soft complain ni dozo mo mani party dodo mi se me ni operation busa ko yochum buafo busa wu adako busa NDC for mo ba obi aye was you can't.
No, yeah, you MPP.
Southern MPP to organize operations 24 hours. What is a person of Johnny? No more post. Because you are born to power Hanuma. The home from money be cemetery home now. Me madu han home from madu
operations here.
Ready Jesus Christ.
Boys in here you more ground.
A word I say no cash bibia. What is a Mbappe no dear me called Johnny ko. Who be so who were they? Because you chimbo for shame and necro whom you say bibi omo. And actually a operation team no. Ada kufa admit for the whole Ghana operation here the lead team. Ada na say mo ye mata ade etimi koso ana koso na koso etimi edu bia me ya. But this election ye promise NPP for say ye ntra fie sa o. Operation say no mo ye wo the other side. Ye be make sure say be move the other side ye juma ama power na say etimi gine nipa wotimi to no. Ya tena ya bre o. Na me ya na me ya hwe we cameraman so bia ni mo mo fonfon keke. Just imagine. Ejuma mo yotimi say
ade ntu mo kana.
Oh, na say sunsun pe hunama amre. Fi niam nkoye na oje person betima so de wo gina ho sa wo di agro twahwe wo di agro twahwe am ntenje om ntentem na niam mu odin dodo ni nya ba omia wo ni nya ba omia adentia na wiase ade amanko biebre ama niam ekoso se no onam owusu ni tise kuti pomponi no o adai ade presidential candidate ni Charles Yanko
one assign statement
NDC de nana oh mami fe
We hear me. The penny or sign statement.
I wouldn't be surprised a bit in my Joyce Mutari. Yeah. Because first one, you know, or no, a sign.
Well, you see,
you carry on.
Yeah,
I will give you
carry on because my pen me dia kasa mo ho. I never mammy wait. I say, now I sign a statement and be boa me. Not matimi akamasa we. Na ten say and I know more positions.
Joyce Mutari ba was spokesperson at the My Excellency John Dramani.
And I know more positions no. Campaign na say ebi akukudrofo. Ebi si omo ma MPP nsisi omo da. Na omo na ututu ombetime di omo boaje. Campaign a NDC for mu win election wo Accra Sports Stadium. Omo here no from organizer to the last person. Ya mo masumu. Ya mo masu poster ni ati na mo toilet mu na mo te brofo. Mo kwa na mo akọ school. Ya two poster o tro brofo. Ya pia billboard at bofoma o se brofo ube wana be hura no. I thought some say I election wey boot for boot.
Yeah.
Mon ti brofo ma mon kan. Untimi spell ya. Men tro. Enti se wo se boot for boot 2024 mu call boot for boot. Ya two poster what do you do? You poster na abeti. You pia billboard bofoma no what pia billboard abofom. Okay, we say you do me, I do you. God no verse. And a simple issue. We enye letter sem, enye statement asem, enye afe na be bo bi hun koko. We say ya, no chino bi poster tete ya be ye di be show. Yeah. Sa letter where would there be to grantino. Enye buga na wo kono. Uko buga was mobi. Ade chino obi billboard uno was man. We a da for me what will be. What you will be. Tabi until the letter banto no be poster tete o timi tracy bass wo the letter be nze bi na wo na akoye enya sa na ye adwuma no adwuma mu nyima na ma bisa ye were professors wo amamfo akwadri mu sa adwuma wi eye simple work eye poster na wakobo no bi di na eye sen ko print bi so fatals o di tare denzo o print bi now se bia no di akobo na wo go baby. Well, they are now so they are based in him. And yes, sir, at least it's a confusion and bad. There would never be peace. It's a confusion and bad. Ravi. Now, yeah, man, obi am pra. Uniform me can say. You be find say you normal. Now, then now we soon say dampare in yesterday dampare on your day. Kuonu maju di when can see ye. Any artist so mako big board not to so masimi billboard na would their besimi the enemy.
Itu akone.
Because billboard they could see our permit. So me want me permit. Na my right billboard say na would do their besimi the enemy. Me were right that to me protect me. To me three pian with their no to form. No have forward the go. And then let us Mama grassroots say election with the boot for boot. Say boot for boot. And a boot for boot. Young way any. You cut your chemo debia. And yet, Monyam Panamuno letter true. Mobet 12 letters, 12 letters, 7 December. Munda letters, neutral. Roll your sleeves. Roll your sleeve. Mama grassroots na jide wo mu se boot for boot na mo kan ye. Akukudro campaign na mo ye no ampa. Mo ye memma. Mutimi hye ayi mo ga ne say. Fugua bansere ne na se bomu di hurahura amanfo stadium afi na druso ya mi wo hin afi na druso wa dwuma ni organize dwuma we your organization we omo wo hin Mustafa no wo hin de ho
Charles Medasi
me de manus no da mas dem time no 10 minutes my 5 aka 5
ye miraso
umre be na so
meti mama 1 minute
e wo mama 1 minute
news
no gabi news for on train kokosi practice we news le ben bio ma men ka sem Captain Smart ni DJ ni Ghana for see hate speech hwe mama mani nko bibi so there's nothing like hate speech gabi me po bi obetimi define hate speech ama me universally accepted. The definition of hate speech is ambiguous. What you consider hate speech is not be hate speech to me. Ya wo mra o Ghana ha. freedom of speech. The moment I bear so bad rex to be some cabiano, or pursue can cast abortion.
Very well.
So can I won't pass and court. Shamaga a deliberate attempt 2020. Papa be at your group be no mudi monitor radio stations.
Media Foundation for West Africa.
MFAW. No, so and when the can was some whether a deliberate so that won't come was what about you. With the Montans.
Mada Charles Makati ase na mada ye kodwo yebo anso ase na ye de dwumadi nesia. Oba de ne dom ye ne yetenkwama a wokyena yemba kwasiada yemba. Nimom edwada no mienu ebese wo Power FM. No na ibrim ebese sia ewo TVSYZ. Talata o media oni eye minuaba ene eye ability eni ni wura Benwood echacha mu nyina atenka antiladi eni sapo Kofi eni Yakojo eni Ofakwaku mu nyina ana Daniel echacha mu yenua eye Accra oni mampoma ene de anwumre no esia kasebo ebre wani fi mmamu nyina mo eniti